All right, fantastic. Welcome to Coffee with Marcus and Mark, the number one stock market show on Spotify and one of the most popular market updates on YouTube. So, in this show, we are going to talk to you about what's happening in the markets and how we are trading it. Today is Friday, April 28th, and wow, this week has been a roller coaster ride on Wall Street. So, we have some big gains and some losses making headlines. Lots of companies reporting, the latest one being Intel and Amazon. So, we'll talk about this also today. The core PCE inflation report, the Fed's favorite inflation gauge, has been released. So we'll talk about how the markets are reacting and most importantly, how we are trading these markets. By the way, if this is your first time here, I'm Markus Heitkoetter. This super smart guy over there is my head coach, Mark. We're real traders who trade live accounts. So therefore, we got a lot of trading experience and we're showing you how we trade these crazy markets. So trust me, we know our stuff. We're not afraid to tell you like it is. If you're here looking for some honest insights into the fascinating world of trading, you are in the right place. And geez, I mean, talking about a roller coaster ride, look at this. I mean, first, nothing at all, then a dip, and a sharp reversal here.
Yeah, what a week! We had some quiet trading for a week and a half or so, a dip and right back to where we started, and nice little comeback. I think the takeaway here is that for the most part, traders were okay with big tech earnings.
Yeah, so I mean, this week definitely all about earnings, big tech earnings. So we had Microsoft and Alphabet reporting on Tuesday after the close. Then on Wednesday we had Meta reporting after the close. Yesterday, Amazon and Intel. And I mean, so far, big tech has not disappointed. I mean, they actually came in better than expected.
And this is nice, right? Because going into this earnings season, there were concerns that we would be seeing earnings that were worse and future guidance being a concern with a recession on the horizon, or some would argue we're already in one. And so there was a lot going into this earnings season, and so far, you know companies are hanging in there.
Yeah. Also, looking at the economic calendar, I mean, really, it wasn't too bad. We had the consumer confidence being reported on Tuesday, coming in lower than expected. This was sending the markets lower. The advanced GDP also lower than expected. But then today, the big one, the core PCE price index, coming in line with expectations here.
Yeah, and this is a key report for the Fed. The Fed looks at this to get a better feel for inflation, and so you could argue that core PCE price index and CPI data are probably the two most important reports for the Fed when it comes to inflation. So coming in line with expectations, that's a positive, right? We were thinking that maybe inflation was a little bit worse, and in line. I think that Jerome Powell will take that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's take a look at some of the earnings. So we had Amazon reporting after the bell yesterday, and that was interesting because immediately when they released their results, it looked really good. And Amazon in post-market trading in after hours was up 10%. But then they jumped on the earnings call, and traders didn't like what Amazon had to say about their outlook and on the earnings call.
Yeah, so Amazon beat earnings expectations. So an earnings beat, also a revenue beat. Like you said, Marcus, a huge reaction, just jumping crazy after the bell. But there are some concerns about their AWS business, and the being a concern moving forward. So traders not liking that. Amazon down 4% now.
Yeah. On the other hand, Intel, I mean, this is also where it's kind of crazy. So Intel, it came in better than expected, but at a loss. It just Intel reported a loss and is jumping up. I mean, still up 5%, pulling back a little bit. Earlier, it was up as much as 8%. I mean, that to me was a little bit surprising after reporting a loss. But again, it was a little bit of a smaller loss than everybody expected.
And that's the thing. So Even though it was a loss, the estimate was a loss of 16 cents a share. They came in at 4 cents a share. So that's still an earnings beat. And then revenue also coming in higher than expected. So a nice jump this morning, although a little bit of a reversal during the actual session, but Intel's still at 5% on the day.
Yeah, and I mean the reversal. We just have breaking news. We need to switch to a 5-minute chart of the S&P 500 or also on the Nasdaq, where you see that we have a big reversal. And the breaking news right now, it seems that FRC, First Republic Bank, we have been talking about it all week, might be seized by regulators. So you see that earlier they were hanging in there, and just right now, the news broke a few minutes ago before we got started that yeah, FRC seems to be done. So down another 30% after they had kind of a good day yesterday, because to yesterday they were up 8%. So it looked like they were stabilizing, and also coming into the session this morning, it looked good. So this is where right now markets are reacting to this. The bank worries are back.
Sure, and it also looks like the Fed released a report on what drove the SVB collapse, and well, we'll see what the takeaway here is, but definitely some reaction there to what you just said, and banking concerns are still in the spotlight.
Yeah. Well, before we look at our positions, it was quite interesting this morning. I looked at a few stocks. We talked about McDonald's after reporting earnings. They're trading at all-time highs, but also, I mean, just looking at consumer goods, Starbucks trading at highs not seen in a year. So Starbucks almost making new highs. Monster Beverage, MNST, they are actually trading at all-time highs since they started trading. Look at this. It's just interesting how these consumer products are trading at all-time highs. So this is kind of in contrast to the consumer confidence, because it seems that consumers are spending money. I mean, Pepsi earlier this week said, you know what? We're trading at all-time highs and we have no problems raising prices. People are willing to pay more for Pepsi.
Interesting, and yeah, McDonald's IPOing in 1965 and making record highs. That you're right. It's just it's definitely an interesting environment right now.
Yeah. All right, one more I want to mention, and then we take a look at our position. So also we have ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil, I believe that they are trading close to all-time highs after reporting another record earnings. And that's quite interesting, because if you look at crude oil in the first quarter, I mean, this didn't look good at all. Look at this, crude oil trading anywhere between $70 and $80, maybe $85, dipping as low as 65. You would think that this is where oil companies are hurt with such a low crude oil price, but no, they reported Exxon record profits.
Record first quarter profit. Yeah. Their adjusted earnings were $2.83 a share versus a 259 estimate. And then 86.56 billion dollars in revenue there.
Yeah. And just want to put this a little bit in relation, right, where we see that Amazon reported earnings of 30 cents and Exxon $2.80 per share. So this gives you kind of an idea of how profitable these guys are. It's just amazing. So come on, lower gas prices at the pump a little bit. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at our positions here, and interesting developments here in our position. So first of all, Coterra Energy almost seems that in the wake of ExxonMobil here, Coterra Energy this morning also up 1.7%. They are reporting earnings in 6 days from now, and it
Yeah.
seems that after Exxon reported record earnings, that people are expecting something similar from Coterra Energy.
Could be. Nice rally, a bump yesterday and up just under 2% today. Getting close to being able to sell calls for you, right,
Yeah,
Marcus?
absolutely. I'm definitely keeping an eye on this one. And I just want to bring up the heat map. This is where we see here that energy is just bright green here right now. So energy stocks definitely all up. What was it? The rising tide and all ships. There we go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Exxon. I'll take that. I'll take that. Okay, back here. DHR. I mean, wow, what a difference a day makes. So this is where I got assigned at 240 because I sold the 240, and I mean, then 2 days ago we were trading as low as $227, and it looked really like bleak. Like, oh my gosh, what did I do? But right now, a sharp snapback. Today, the high 238.75. I mean, almost back to the 240. Now, it will be kind of a nail biter for you because you sold the 237.50 puts and you have not received early assignment. So,
No.
what are you planning to do there? Are you closing out these puts or are you waiting to see if you get assigned?
Well, right now, the puts are they still have a lot of value because they're at the money, right?
Right.
So I'm looking at my position, and they're at 72 cents here. I'm making some money, but my plan is to close a put out at 90% of its max profit up until the last day. On the last day, I'll let it expire worthless, or I'll get assigned.
Right.
So right now, really at the mercy of the market because DHR trading right around 237.50. If we close higher, then it's likely that I won't get assigned. If we close lower than 237.50, I will most likely get assigned shares. And I would love for DHR to hold up and to be able to sell calls on Monday. If not, maybe I'll take another look at puts. So
Yeah.
interesting for me. How about you? Were you able to sell calls?
No, 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 no. Because I checked this morning and there was only like a 5 cents premium in there. And honestly, with this super sharp rally, I thought, okay, 5 cents, $5 per option is not worth of potentially getting called away and missing out on selling calls on Monday. So that's what I'm also looking for. I'm following my plan here.
Okay. Take another look at the 240s though, just because there's some decent premium.
Really?
But
Okay,
if you're
let's see. Because when I checked earlier for today or for next week?
not for today, for next week.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's, yeah, maybe I should do that. Let's see, the 240. Okay.
Okay, not quite at 30%. I
Yeah,
thought it
not
was a little higher.
quite there, not quite there, but it's a pretty big, wide bid-ask spread. So $1.50 by $1.65. Most probably I could get $1.60 or maybe even $1.65, which would be right there. But I just want to see how this keeps moving because I mean
Sure.
today, huge move here, huge move. All right,
Yeah, real
VM,
nice.
another one. I sold puts at the 32 level, and again, what a day a difference! What a difference a day makes. At first, yesterday we were trading as low as 31.83. Looked like I might get a sign today. Right now, we are trading at 33.22. So this is where right now assignment looks a little bit unlikely, and this might just expire worthless, and I keep all of the premium unless we see a super sharp reversal. But I'm planning to let this expire worthless.
All right. Not too
Well, and
bad.
again, we just, I mean, super interesting developments. Yesterday, Google was rallying up to 108.37. I sold the 108 calls. This morning, Google is actually dropping down 2% so far. And yesterday, it seems that my position might get called away. But this morning, a reversal. So it seems that these calls might expire worthless, and I can sell more calls next week.
That works. That
All right.
works.
Now let's see PNC. PNC Financial Services, our bank. I mean, right now with FRC, First Republic Bank, dropping another 30%, I'm super surprised to see that PNC is holding up, now up 2.3% and peaking out of this range that it has been trading in for the past few weeks after we got assigned.
Yeah, that's looking pretty good. In fact, I just realized that if I want to, I could sell calls at my cost basis of 136
All right.
and get some decent premium there. I think I'm gonna
Uh,
watch
let's
it.
let's maybe take a look at this really quick and see. So this would be PNC. So you got assigned at 136, or that's you got assigned at a higher price, but that's your cost basis. So
Yes.
you're looking for next week. I'm just for now putting in 100 shares so that we get the idea of how much per option. So at a strike price of 136, let's just see. Okay, that's not bad at all. So dollar
Yeah.
five by $1.45. So you could probably get $1.20, I would say, which would put you at 40% annualized.
Keeping an eye on that one.
All right. All right, all
Nice,
right, all
nice
right,
to
all
see
right.
that push higher.
Yeah. Okay. And then you also, we forgot to talk about it yesterday, but we talked about it a couple of days ago. You actually sold puts on Suncor Energy SU, and also with energies being up. Well, which one did you sell? The 29 or
29
28.50?
strike.
The
Yeah. We
29,
see the
right?
lowest low uh, indicator and the lowest close indicator, that is. And I just like that 29. CTRA, I'm out of, so I didn't have an oil and gas play. Oxy was another one that was popping up. Some of our mastermind members took that, but I
Yeah.
like that 29 strike there for Suncor.
No, this looks good. And are you planning to close it or let it expire worthless?
I'm letting it expire.
Yeah, no, I agree. So really super interesting and a sharp reversal. I mean, yesterday it was almost like, oh my gosh, we're getting assigned and everything, and now it's like, all right, maybe not. So let's take a look at another look here at the S&P 500, how it is reacting to the news. So seems to shrug it off after the initial shock about the report from how Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, and also that FRC, First Republic Bank, might be seized by the FDIC or the Feds. Not quite sure. I just saw the headline there. Seems that markets are shrugging it off right now. Pretty mixed. The Dow up today, fueled by Intel, 0.4%, followed by the S&P by 0.3%. Nasdaq today dragged down by Amazon, probably Google, and some other tech stocks. Just around the flat line here right now, slightly negative with 0.08%, so just a tenth of a percent down so far.
And it looks like if things hold up, we will finish the month positive, except for the Nasdaq. But the Dow could see its best month since January.
It almost looks like this. Yeah, just looking at the monthly here. So the Nasdaq still down 0.7%, would have to stage a massive rally today. No, not massive rally, but definitely rally since it is down right now. So we would have to move like a percentage point. It's possible for it to finish positive. The S&P, as you mentioned, on the other hand, right now almost 1% profitable for the month, and the Dow, the big winner for the month, up 2%.
Not too shabby for the Dow.
Not too shabby for the Dow. One more thing that I wanted to see is over the past few days, we talked about the 50-day moving average of the NASDAQ here. And boy, this thing really has stopped the fall of the NASDAQ, and it bounced right back. Super interesting, isn't it?
Perfect little kiss there and rallying higher.
Yeah. All right, we'll see. So, I mean, with the markets being as volatile as they are right now, I mean, there's still a possibility that our positions are turning around, that we might get a sign. So, you never know. We will know this afternoon when the markets open. So, make sure that you tune in on Monday, where we show you exactly of what happened to our puts and calls that we sold, and what other positions we are taking last week. If this is helpful to you, give us a like. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. This way, you get a notice whenever we go live. And hey, have a great weekend.
Happy trading, everybody.